Hey, guess what? Today's the day where you can make an impact and you can also make some cash. Lots of money, lots of impact today from the edge of space. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Yes, sirree, Mario Hernandez is joining us here. We're talking this whole idea of social impact, Mr. Entrepreneur, Mrs. Entrepreneur. Did you know not only can you make a lot of cash in life, but you can also have a massive impact? And you don't want to forget that whole idea of make money, make impact. That's the whole goal here. Boys, stop texting me. I'm trying to get the show started. Jon and Marty, what's going on, boys? I'm like, guys, I'm trying to get the show going, and I didn't turn my alerts off, and all I got is dinging, dinging, dinging going on in the feed. What's up, boys?
I was testing you. I was seeing if you put that thing on silent. Come on, man.
Note to self, when you're doing a live show, you got to put the alerts on silent because Anderson is still catching up. What's going on, Marty? What's going on, Anderson? We got a big show today. Mario Hernandez is sitting in the green room. Hey, we're here to talk about making cash, but Mario makes cash with a purpose. Social impact, boys. Having a big impact on life and then making money along the way. What do you know today, Johnny?
Well, it seems like that's the way it works. The more that you serve, the more you impact the world, the more you make. And when people connect those dots, it makes the journey a lot easier.
That's right. That's right. And Marty, I'm going to bring up producer Flynn here as well. Marty, Flynn, we got today's explicit show. So if you guys are tuning in with kids in the room, I invite you to put some headphones on and make sure that they might not hear some of the words that will come out of Jon Andersen most specifically, because the guy just drops just this F-bombs left and right, joking aside. But listen, we got to go around the horn here. John's got the red hat on, nice black glasses, black fuck mental wellness t-shirt. I got a black shirt on, some new glasses.
Mental weakness.
Oh yes, I keep getting it wrong.
Goodness gracious, brother. Come on. Is that hat squeezing your head a little too tight today?
Hey, I brought the new Kangaloo, Johnny, just for you, pal. I brought this one out today.
I'm just wondering if it's 2 sizes too small.
Well, my head's feeling I went for a big ass run this morning, so my head's feeling pretty big, and I'm sweating like a motherfucker right now. But I brought some different chrome hearts out today, Johnny, as well. I got a nice collection of chrome heart sunglasses upstairs. So I'm pulling them out gradually to show them off to nation here. Tina's all in black with some white AirPods in her ears, and Marty's got the red Beats headphones and all in black with less brunches, more crunches t-shirt. What's going on, Marty?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Oh, you know, it's just that day. Tina, how are you today?
Y'all, I did a kettlebell class yesterday.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Very
oh.
You broke the steel.
Whoa, what did the steel do?
Floodgates are open now.
I was tricked. I signed my kid up. I signed my kid up for a mini fitness class, and I call, and they're like, "Awesome!" And you'll be doing the kettlebell class at the same time. And I was like, "Uh-huh." So she gets to do her fitness class, and I have to do the class at the same time.
Oh,
but what do we say on this show? Kids don't give a shit what we say. They care what we do.
You know what?
You got to take that bull by the horns and say, you know what? I might not like this, but I'm doing it for the youngster.
That's exactly what I did. And afterwards, we both had a sweat on, and she's seeing me, and she's like, "That's your class? And what are those things that you're working with?" And I was like, nothing I could tell her would give her as much of a lesson as her seeing me do it. So here we are.
The $1 million question.
That's exceptional.
Are you going to continue to do it?
I have to. I signed her up.
There we go. There we go.
That's the best way to start.
Because we sit up here in the soapbox and we talk all this mess. If we're not doing it, who the hell are we?
You know what? And I never talk mess, as you know. I don't pretend I don't do anything I don't do. So that's why I'm saying it, because I'm proud of myself. And it's been about 4 years since I did CrossFit. So I haven't done kettlebell in a long time. And I'm already a little sore on day 1. Day 2 is going to be a real bitch, and that's a good thing.
Well, you know what we do here in the Business Athlete Performance Labs? We build business athletes. So listen, if you're tuning in right now and you're a business leader like Christina Flynn, hey, hang out with us. We're going to help you become an athlete. Or hang out with Flynn's kids, and they'll make you an athlete.
Yeah.
Or if you're an athlete tuning in right now and you're lost, hey, I know you, athlete. Jon knows you. Marty knows you. You're waking up. You're like, oh my God, my career's wrapping up, or my career's on its way up, or my career's done. and you're like, I need some structure in my life. I need to hang out with some folks. I want somebody to help me be accountable. This is the show for you. 8 o'clock Eastern time, Monday to Friday. We get your ass out of bed. We give you some structure. We help you feel accountable. These first 50 minutes is the morning loop content to get you guys out of bed, keep you on your toes, make you feel you unpredictable. At the 50-minute mark at the accountability check-in, bottom of the hour, Marty's jumping with a fit tip. 45-minute in the hour, Johnny's got a lifestyle tip. Top of the hour, we're bringing back the big segment from yesterday. Woo! I cut it up last night, boys. It's rocking and rolling, man. In the gym with Marty and John. Everything you guys want to know what happens in the gym. Raw gym talk with Jon Andersen and CMartyFit coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And of course, Mario Hernandez is hanging out in the green room. We'll bring him up here at around the fit, just after the accountability check-in. We're going to get to know Mario. And we're going to talk social impact entrepreneurship. But guys, yesterday, history was made. I know I teased it on the show yesterday, but did you guys see the history that was made yesterday? Just a couple folks in North America just got in the old space capsule and shot off to space. And on the edge of space, they opened up the capsule, Jon Andersen. They're like, let's just fucking let the air out. Let's let all the oxygen out of the space capsule. And then let's just climb up the ladder and peek our head out of the capsule into space, Johnny Andersen.
And right when they open that door, they're thinking, the son of a bitch with the calculator better be right. I better have some air to breathe here. I'm going to be really pissed.
Well, the suits, they need to actually, they don't really know if those suits are going to make it with the exposure.
I know. It was like, oh, hey, so Christina, do you want to go to space with me? Sure, Keith, what are we going for? Oh, to test the suits.
I'm not going with you ever. If you're going to space, I'm going to let you take that journey and you let me know how it goes.
But
I'll go with you, Keith.
Yeah. Hey, Marty's coming with me in carts next time. We're gonna go hang out with the White Sharks in Australia next year. So those of you who want to come hang out with us, you come hang out with us in Australia, come hang out with some sharks.
Don't bring your son. Remember the dude with the submarine? Don't bring your son. Don't go down like that.
The dude with the submarine. I missed this one. What's the dude with the submarine?
Whoa.
Don't do it.
Hey, come on, Tina.
What's the dude with the submarine? I'm missing it.
Unpredictable comments from Flynn this morning. So last June, the old oceanic. So I was caught up in this whole news last year when that submarine went off the coast of Newfoundland and went down to see the Titanic and imploded. Right, with the father and son in there. So
it was further than the Titanic. That was the challenge.
Yes, yeah. So very, very much a tragic incident. But I think what Tina's saying is don't go in the ocean with your son, so you guys can come back together.
It's like the president and the vice president don't travel together.
Yes, this is true. Did you know?
Aren't they going again? They're going to search again.
Well, so that submarine imploded. That whole business is gone. Tragedy happened there. But you're right. There is submarine expeditions that do go and visit the Titanic. But the one that Flynn's referring to is the one that ended in a tragedy with the father and son. So when I say, hey, I'm going to go hang out with the sharks, Tina's like, well, hold on a second here. You guys might want to go in separate vessels so that you don't separate the bill. Yeah. You know what? OGG, Marty, the OGG, when he flies with his family, they fly on separate planes.
Really?
No shit.
Yes, because he's like, I want to make sure that there's succession in my family. So if they go on a big family vacation, he's like, yeah, the kids are going that one. I'm going on this one.
Wow. I never knew that.
And true story. Hey, Christina, here's some learnings. Here's some Keith leaning into learnings. When I was growing,
looking over the top of his glasses, he's getting serious.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm looking at the clock to make sure I'm on time, Johnny.
It works either way, brother. I love that. You know what? Once you're a kid, and your dad does this, he looks over, you're like, oh God damn it, I'm in trouble now.
When I was flying, as we matured as a company team, I used to fly with ICUC, and we would also, as the executive team, we would take different planes as well. Right, just that whole idea of making sure that you're not going crashing with your executive team. I know it sounds so ridiculous, but there's truth to it, frankly.
You're the president.
That's right. That's right.
Chief Keith.
That's it. The Chief Keith went from Husky Keith to the Chief Keith. That's it. The handsome chief. That's exactly. But listen, yesterday
on his way to bougie Keith.
Honestly, hey, every single day, Johnny, you're going to see the bouginess go up, dude. I'm telling you now.
The gatekeeper to bougie is down on the bottom of the screen there. Marty's the one who lets you in the club or not.
Hey, Tina, I told Keith he's too humble, man. Talk some shit, man.
He's Canadian. Keith and I talk about this all the time.
Talk some shit.
Yeah, I
The
told
minute we're not humble,
Hold on.
we feel guilty.
This Canadian thing, Marty. You see how they play this Canadian thing, no matter which way they want to go.
Jesus.
It's like they're an asshole because they're
Never
Canadian.
not
They're really
be
nice because
and-
they're
and-
Canadian. You got to pick one side of the fence if you're going to play your Canadian card. You can't.
And
play
then
that.
Tina will be like, "Well, it's not all Canadians. It's not all of us. Don't group me with
True.
Keith.
I
That's
only
right.
accept the
What are we
bad
doing
allies.
here?"
This
That
whole
is
Canadian
me.
thing is like the biggest get out of jail card I've ever seen in my life.
I just moved the cameras around, Tina, so we can have the Americans on top, and
Yeah,
we can
let's
have
do
the
it.
bottom.
Let's do it. You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
We're doing it the
that's
other
how
way
it should
around
be.
the
Oh yeah, I
You're on the
think
bottom.
Canada should be on top here, and we're gonna put the Americans
how it
on the
goes.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
So
you
we're gonna look,
you
just
can
look
put us
down.
wherever you want, but we're going to come out on top. You can put us wherever you want, but we're coming out on
guys.
top.
Hi,
How's-
John and Marty.
how's
Are you
down
guys
there?
down there? Are you guys down there?
How's it going? We're watching and entertained. Very entertained up here.
Oh man,
Oh,
12 minutes
man.
after the first 15 minutes of the morning loop. Mornings in the lab with Keith, John, Marty, and our producer Christina Flynn hanging out. Good morning, good time. Good to have you here this morning. Hey, good times. Go for a walk today. I hope you did. If you didn't, I'm hoping you're gonna get to your walk today. Just keeping you accountable, brother. Just keeping you accountable. Good morning, So Young Park. Hi, good to have you here as well. And
So Young?
we got Luke joining us with yes, I do actually enjoy smoking marijuana. Thank you. What else we got here? We got Nikki says, I know you can see, blink twice if you are in danger. No, I don't think I'm in danger, but I'm having a good time here today. And Good Time says, yes, went for a walk. Awesome. Good
Yeah,
time.
baby, good
Awesome.
time.
Awesome.
Get it.
Awesome.
Get
awesome.
it, baby. That's what
So
I'm
I just
talking
wanted to wrap up my comments regarding this morning with the old spacewalk. Could you imagine that though? Which is they went up there, the furthest ever humans have gone, to Tina's point, to test the spacesuit. And you're like, and John, to your point, it's like, okay, the math has to work because the moment they open that hatch, we're all watching TV and you're wondering if it's going to kind of go, bleh. But they did it. They survived. They did the whole thing. But isn't that fascinating? You know, how do you come to terms with that whole idea of, I'm going to go to the edge of space with a spacesuit that has never been tried before?
Well, here's a question.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
You know what? I asked myself that question, actually. I think that I would, part of me thinks that I would do it because I'm quite, so I don't know. I think I would. Johnny, would you do
Ready,
it?
John?
You know, my first thought is I don't think it'd fit in the suit, but if they made me a special suit, then there'd be
They will
something
make you a
to do.
suit, bro. They will make you a suit, bro.
They're not small, medium, large.
They gotta make
Yeah.
They can make a double
It's
XL.
custom.
You got Jon
Yeah,
Andersen.
and then I
Don't
just
worry.
honestly, I'm looking at the dude with the calculator, and I'm saying, look, if I get in that suit and I go up there and I open the door, there's no air. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna whoop your ass. So you better make sure these
wow.
calculations are proper.
You ain't coming back. So he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He
you
doesn't
ain't whooping
care.
no ass. You whooping your own ass.
No, I open the door. If
You're
I get
lying.
one gulp, if there's nothing to swallow, I'm climbing back in and coming home.
Oh man. Hey Enzo. Enzo's joining us here this morning. Enzo is off. He had a full week exam. Same story for the next week as well. What's up there, Future? Hey Future,
Hey,
would
Enzo.
you go? You're the young one on the team here. Enzo's gonna join us here in October and hang out for a few shows, I think. But Enzo, as the Future, would you get in that space capsule? Would you get into the space capsule? Would you do a spacewalk? I'm kind of curious. And Sowers.
You would do it.
Whoa, we got David Sowers in the lab. We got Sowers. What's up,
Sowers?
brother? So you know, hey Tina, Marty, we got to get Sowers in the lab with Johnny. I think we got to put those two in a room and just hear him talking about just.
That'll
This
be pretty
He's
Mr.
got to wear
You're
the
talking
stars
about-
in his
This is
profile
Mr.
pic.
Shitter. This is Mr. Shitter, correct?
Yes, Sowers.
I want to meet
awesome.
Mr. Shitter.
I know,
Mr.
I know.
Shitter
We're gonna-
sounds like a cool cat. man.
He's a.
You want to know
And
how
I
the
say,
conversation is going to go?
I say Mr. Shitter with love. You know,
I have a
This-
I
bidet.
spend a lot of time on the shitter.
Marty, go.
This is the conversation. John's going to be like, yeah, I never worked a job. You know, when I was in my 20s, I told myself I'm never working a job. And Sal's going to be like, yeah, I said, fuck the bank. Fuck being a finance guy. I said, fuck that.
So
That's how
you're
the
talking.
convo's going.
We're gonna have
And then
we're gonna have a good
Purple
conversation, huh?
toilet
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
set up the best, cleanest restroom business in America, and everybody's gonna look at me like I'm some
It's going to
freak.
be great.
And he's gonna
Let's
be,
do
it's gonna be the best one ever. And everyone's like, "What the hell you doing selling clean shitters?" He's like, "No, trust me." So I'm
Well,
telling
you
That's
know-
a good idea, though. That's a good
it's the best
show
idea, man.
Boring
It is.
businesses. Cody Sanchez talks about this all the time. Boring businesses are where the money's at. Storage
right.
units. Maybe it's shitters too. I'm not sure.
You know
And
what?
I'm sitting here thinking, as much time as I spent on the shitter, how did I not think of this glorious idea?
Listen,
You
Sal's
learn in
probably the
finance.
best thing he's- I'm thinking that Sours has a business there, which is like, in the shitter, the Royal Restrooms experience for all entrepreneurs. Sit in the restroom, come out and pitch your idea. Go in the shitter, have an idea, come out and pitch it to us.
I like
I'm
it.
telling you, man, I've had more quality thoughts on the toilet than I care to admit.
I swear
understand.
The BlackBerry took off because of the men's shitter. True story. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're coming up to the 50-minute mark of the show. The morning loop is done. We are now going to get to the accountability check-in. Christina's going to get off stage, going to get Mario prepared. Marty's going to go for a stretch. Johnny is going to go for a little bit of a break. And I'm going to get some words on the screen, and I'm going to talk to you about real progress. And I'm going to talk to you about winning. And I'm going to talk to you about getting your ass out of bed and getting going, and it's going to start just like this. Jimmy, I got the vertical feed. You get those folks off the horizontal one. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. You guys like my glasses today? Yep, I do. Just pull them out of the closet. All right. Okay, so how do you win back time? And how do you see a real progress? Because we all want more time. Time's those things you're like, listen, I want to buy an airplane so I can buy time. True story. I want to get an airplane so I can get as much time as I want. But when we get that time, we waste it. Don't we, Tina? Like, I don't know what time is. Wait a minute. Those 4 letters, ADHD, time, they don't work together. That's just, what time? Huh? There's a squirrel over there. I got to go get the squirrel. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Those small gaps between tasks. You know the ones that are like just, you got the task here, the task there, and like, I got a 5-minute window and you fuck around, you don't do anything with it. That's the magical spots in your day. Those small gaps, they feel like nothing. We barely notice them. We think that they're insignificant, but in reality, they're like bad habits and they just add up over and over and over. 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 5 minutes there. You add them all up, by the end of the week, we've wasted hours. We've wasted hours. I know you. Does this sound familiar? You're constantly playing catch up. You're overwhelmed by how much there's to do. The list is getting longer. You end most days feeling like you've accomplished fuck all. You're like, yeah, I've done nothing all week. The real issue, nation, is not, you don't need any more time. It's how we use those 5-minute gaps, 3-minute gaps, 10-minute gaps right in the middle of it all. It's easier to scroll on the phone. It's easier to get in the old Royal Restroom shitter and have the best restroom experience of your life. It's easy to do that. However, it's also easy to fill the silence than to sit there with your BlackBerry in the hand, wondering if you're going to use that purple toilet paper. You're thinking, I don't want to use the purple toilet paper today. No. But here's the thing. In between the moments within the moment, you know those moments. That's the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. So how do you win back time? How do you win back time, nation? You be intentional. You take that minute with your kid and you lift up the kettlebell and you say, holy shit, I'm doing it. And then when it's all done, you do it again. And when you leave that business, you send the follow-up email, you tackle that tough, frustrating work, you breathe, you move, you go outside for fresh air. And every time you choose intention over a mindless quick break, even for 5 minutes, you're moving your needle and making progress. So I have an invitation for you today. 5 of those 5-minute gaps, 3-minute gaps, 4-minute gaps in your day and add them up and do something with them. Set a target. Say, I'm going to take 30 minutes of in-between gap time and add them up at the end of the day and move. Trust me. See the difference in how it makes you feel about yourself this time next week. Woo! Friday, energy, the loop. What's up, Johnny? How was that? Was that a good experience?
That was good, brother. That was really good. Oh yeah. Yeah. I need it. That we front load the show with my pee breaks. I start wiggling towards the end. So when we put me another break for the spotlight, that was what we needed. Awesome.
So are we ready, boys? Are we ready to introduce? Whoa, we are ready to introduce the man from Caracas, Venezuela, where he saw firsthand the effects of political corruption on his country. Johnny, he spent early years chasing businesses for money. Marty, only to recognize that the real entrepreneurship. Hold on a second. Fuck, man, the real entrepreneurship is making cash. What the hell you doing, Mario? That's social impact stuff. You got to go make cash, man. All joking aside, Mario Hernandez, now the co-CEO and co-founder of Noble. He's using tech and AI to help companies engage employees in social good. And Marty, he reduces turnover. Johnny, he's the founder of the Philanthropy Network, just giving away cash, connecting change makers and businesses to drive real lasting change. And today we are pleased to bring into the stage on Friday, Mornings in the Lab is proud to welcome. Hey, Tina, how will the build up today? Our guest, Mario Hernandez.
What's up, Mario? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
Doing fantastic. Good morning to everyone. I mean, this is the energy boost I needed to get up, so feeling good.
There we go.
Sometimes get to the button, but I got the button here and the applause. What's going on, Mario? How are you, pal?
It's been a great week. I mean, I can't complain. And ending the week with this show, very privileged to be here. So yeah, couldn't be more excited.
So we're going to talk about moving from money to meaning, Mario. So, you are all about, not only entrepreneurship, but philanthropy. And we want to lean into this idea today of moving from money to meaning and how it transformed your business. And boys, doing some reading, doing some research, thanks to Christina Flynn, 55% of employees are more likely to stay at a company that effectively participates in social good. Why chasing money doesn't lead to fulfillment. I can relate to that. But let's get into the grander things. Mario, you spent years chasing businesses that weren't aligned with values and passions that led to burnout. What made you realize that just making money wasn't what it's all about? You've made your money, you've made your businesses, you're an entrepreneur, and you're making the cash. You sold out, you made some cash. But now you're like, you know what? There's more. It's about social impact. Mario Hernandez, let's talk about social impact and moving from money to meaning today, pal.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I went into the generic entrepreneurial mindset, right? I went to college in Babson and up in Boston, which was an incredible experience. But as soon as I got out, I had that wrong mindset, right? Like, we want to build the next unicorn. I just want to make some cash. I can see all these ideas that have worked in the developed countries, and I just want to bring them down to Latin America and basically just, make a buttload of money. And I thought that that was going to give me the happiness that I was looking for, the lifestyle that I was looking for. 2 years of just like mindless meetings, plenty of hours on flights going from like Ecuador, Panama, Costa Rica to Chile, a bunch of places in the SAP world anyway, which, with all the respect, if they love it, that's fantastic, but it wasn't for me. And then 2 years passed by and it's incredible. I, sold the company, had a very good exit. And I thought I'd be celebrating, inviting friends, having the best time of my life. And it was actually an abyss. I had no fulfillment whatsoever, just felt terrible, drained, didn't know what to do. And yeah, it was a moment of reflection. It took me some time. And I just thought about the wasted time, really, that I went through all that. And I was like, all right, now I have this. What am I going to do next? And just out of traveling touristically, really, to the DR, to Dominican Republic, I started realizing the water problem that they were suffering. They had no access to clean drinking water. And so that started to just, spin the mind around and make me think about it. And I was like, all right, let me see how I can help. And then little by little, I started to bootstrap the second business, and it was just about bringing in a mechanical system so it was ecological for the island as well, making sure that it wasn't an electric consumption and we could reduce plastic. But ultimately, I made the same mistake. I was like, well, yeah, it's going to be doing some good for the island itself. It's a good cause, but I want to make a business out of it myself as well. And so I kind of just went in, reflecting and all that, thinking that I made a huge change on my style as to, my way forward anyway. And I kind of just went into the same routine. It was just about selling more systems, etc., until all of a sudden I met one of the greatest composers from the DR. His name's Dante Cucurulo, an amazing guy, like one of those like human first, absolutely incredible character. And he just started, teaching me to compose, teaching me to play piano, etc. But we started to go to different academies because he's always been involved in getting children out of terrible areas, getting them away from crime, getting them away from all these bad situations through music. And he started involving me absolutely in the process. All of a sudden, I find myself installing different systems in these academies, in different schools, foundations. And that's where the fulfillment actually starts to come in. All of a sudden, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling happier. I'm feeling that I'm actually making a difference. And not only that, I'm realizing that my business is also doing much better because of the word of mouth, the credibility, the fact that we're actually making a change on the island that received me with open arms. I'm not Dominican myself, so I'll always be grateful for that moment. I'll always be grateful to Dante for showing me a path where you got to have that human first driven mindset. And I am where I am because of it.
Wow.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Go, Marty.
Okay. Yeah. So you talked about, you said that the SAP was, or SMP wasn't for you, right? So you got out of there, you got into something, you found some fulfillment. Talk about how important it is to one, find fulfillment, and then should somebody stack the cash first, then go to fulfillment, or should they just hop into fulfillment and just, be patient, take their time, and put the work in?
I'd always suggest, or this is what I'm suggesting entrepreneurs, I'm suggesting to businesses as well, is that you have to align a, we call it social impact strategy, but let's call it fulfillment from the get-go. So it's part of your core strategy as to, when you're building that up, when you're building that business forward, so that you don't find yourself with this, let's say, it's not to attack, but like a corporate mindset. Oh, once I retire in 60 years of age, I'm going to enjoy what I made and now I'm going to travel the world. Yeah, but maybe your health has suffered. Your most valuable asset, which is time, has been wasted. And so if you're going to be with that path, the entrepreneurial road is extremely tough. It takes time. It's a long time. So if you do it from the very start, you build it as a foundation, and all of a sudden you're going to find yourself, tackling the business world. You're going to have the tough nights. It's still going to be sleepless nights, but you're going to be enjoying it. At the end of the day, you're going to be enjoying. You're going to like the process, and it's incredible. I mean, I'm on my third business now, and every day we still face challenges. We still face struggles, but it's not like I'm going to bed and I'm like, oh, I don't want the next day to come by. I'm like, no, let's go. Like, I'm excited for it. Let's try it out. Let's do this. Let's fix that. So it's a different mindset.
I have to jump in there. I so agree with this, because in my journey as an entrepreneur, when I finally made that choice, okay, I'm not going to invest my time into a business or an opportunity for money unless I really, really enjoy it. It was just something I would be doing if I wasn't getting paid. And when I adapted that mindset, I was just to what you're saying, that, the challenges became opportunities. The struggles became motivators. And then what happens is that word work, it kind of gets flipped around, because most people say work is they got to go do a bunch of shit they don't want to do every day, as to where when you're actually investing your time and you're working to make progress on something you enjoy, work is not a dirty 4-letter word like most people refer to it. So I completely agree with what you just said, brother.
You're hanging out with Keith, Jon, CMartyFit, and our good friend Mario Hernandez, CEO of Noble. We're talking impact entrepreneurship and how you can not only make cash, but you can have a massive impact on the world. We're going to come here in a minute. Here we're going to get to the CMartyFit tip. But Mario, what made you realize that? So you went through your journey, and you're like, going to make money. Then you made it. And I'm relating to this because I'm saying this to you because I can relate to this. It was like this rush to become a millionaire. It was a rush to go and cash the check. It was a rush to go look in the bank account with all the zeros. And then using the idea of Friday came, Mario, and it happened. And then you're like, oh, Saturday comes, Sunday comes, and then you wake up Monday and you're like, oh, geez, life is actually still somewhat the same. It was a very empty feeling, Mario. Let's talk about that empty feeling, because those that are like, yeah, but your life's changed. You're a millionaire now. Yeah, I know. But until you're there, you really can't understand how empty that feeling still is, isn't it, Mario?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's something that, they don't teach you this, right? So you can't prepare for it. You definitely have this mindset that it's going to be, that life is going to be absolutely different. And it remains the same. You realize that these experiences that now you can, let's say, afford, or that you can do, they're ephemeral. Like, they're literally short-lived. And so all of a sudden you find yourself in this process, or in this routine of a mundane task. You don't really have this motivation or purpose as to what you're going to be building next, or what you're going to be doing next. And so, yeah, for me, it was a dark time. Like, I just didn't know where else I was going to be going. What else am I going to be doing? How can I be helping? And so the days just kind of become eternal. You wake up, you just start walking around like a zombie, and then you're actually looking for your next project. And so I just had to tell myself that before jumping in, it can't just be business first. It can't just be profit first. It's got to be the other way around. And so, you know, what we were discussing beforehand, it's got to be fulfilling, because at the end of the day, you're still young. You still have all these years ahead of you. And if you're already at the end of the road, per se, then you're in big trouble.
We're hanging out with Mario Hernandez here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Martin, Jon, and we're getting to the point of the show where it's time to give you guys something to think about on the fitness side of things. Marty, you're up, pal.
Let's get it, man. Let's do it. All right, y'all. We got the fitness tip for today. All right. So today we're gonna talk about stretching, man. What does stretching do for your body, fellas? You got to stretch. All right. It's not just about flexibility. This is a game changer for overall health and performance. It's going to improve muscle efficiency, increase blood flow. Right. That's going to prime your muscles for action. Okay. So you walk in the gym, you don't get any stretching, and you wonder why you're pulling a hamstring or catching a Charlie horse, or why does my IT band hurt? You have to stretch. It's going to also release feel-good hormones. All right, this is going to trigger the release of endorphins. So now you're releasing even more endorphins, not only in the workout, but you're going to release some with the stretching, and you're going to reduce more stress. This is going to boost your recovery. Recovery is important, because we're training to be athletes. We want to do this for longevity. We don't just want to do a 30-day challenge. We don't just want to do a 2-week challenge, okay? So recovery is going to be super important. 3 must-do stretches for guys. Hip flexors. We sit down all day. Me, Keith, Jon, and Tina, we sitting down here every day, and Rich Ingram, all right? We're getting tight. Our hip flexors are getting tighter. We sit in the car. We sit when we relax and watch a movie with our girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, with the kids. We're sitting all the time. So you got to stretch them hip flexors. All right. It's going to open up your tight hips, and it's going to relieve some lower back pain and improve athletic performance. Chest opener, doorway stretch. Me and Jon talked about this yesterday. Fellas, we get caught up bench press, shoulder press. We got to stretch our chest and our shoulders. All right. This is perfect for guys who spend hours hunched over as well. And when we're sitting down and them hip flexors are getting tight, probably slouched over as well, like this. You're typing. All right. We got to stretch the chest. And then lastly, hamstring stretch. We all know them hamstrings are easy to neglect. Loosen tight hamstrings. You can touch your toes. And these tight hamstrings can lead to back issues. Fellas, you wonder why your back hurts? Check them hamstrings, okay? Your boy CMartyFit, I'm going to my stretch appointment after the show, because I got to take care of myself too. I got to practice what I preach, all right? So incorporate these stretches daily for more flexibility, reduce tension, and better posture. It's my business, guys. We got to have good posture. You're shaking hands. You can't shake hands all slouched over like that. I'm not doing business with you. I'm not giving you no money if you shake my hand like that. So be mindful of the stretching. Keep stretching. That's the fitness tip for today.
Sit up straight with Marty Fit, boys. Boys and girls, get your ass up. Sit up straight. Get those shoulders out. Become confident. Jon Andersen, Keith, Bilous, Marty Fit. We're here hanging out with Mario Hernandez, CEO of Noble, and we've been talking about this idea of why making impact, not just money, is super important in today's world. And we're going to pivot the conversation to the importance of support network for biz success. And then we're going to come back and continue and wrap up our chat on why making impact, not just money, is important. But Mario, you know, in the philanthropy side of things and building Noble, the importance of your support network for business success. 70% of entrepreneurs who are part of a strong support network report higher business growth. Boys, let's talk about this. And Johnny, you too, pal. Surrounding yourself with people who share your values and goals can accelerate your business. I'm going to start with you, Mario, and then I'll come to you, Jon, next. Mario, with the Philanthropy Network, we build a community of change makers. How has being a part of such a strong support network helped you in your own entrepreneurial journey, Mario Hernandez?
No, it's incredible. So I have quite a few people that I have to thank for that. So one being the House of Bricks, for example. It's incredible, the support network that I didn't think about before. I was, at least when I'm in Austin, at Capital Factory, so there's plenty of entrepreneurs just hanging out, etc. But we usually fall into this like tunnel vision, right? Where we're looking for investment. I want to grow my business. I want to, get my clients, etc. But a lot of the times it's talking to fellow founders, talking to other entrepreneurs who've been there 2 steps behind or 2 steps ahead, and they just give you invaluable feedback, support that literally just saves you from so many, let's say, roadblocks. And so that was one place where all of a sudden House of Bricks has been a support network. We've been incredible founders helping one another out, supporting each other, just having conversations, opening up doors. So that's massive. That's huge. And I wanted to bring the same thing to the social impact space, where there are so many philanthropists, nonprofits, entrepreneurs that are wanting to do good, but sometimes social impact can feel very isolating, because you're asking yourself that question many times. Am I really making a difference in the world? I'm one person. How can I actually push the needle forward? What I'm doing, really, does it matter? And so those thoughts can be, one, they can be difficult to handle. Two, it can be dangerous, because it'll stop you from amplifying that impact forward. And so I thought the same thing. Hey, community is absolutely pivotal. It's primordial. And so we need to help one another out and keep the mission going forward.
Jon, as you've pivoted through your different careers, bodybuilding, strongman, wrestling, I have to assume that a support network and a business network was massive, going from industry to industry. Let's lean into, and Jon, share your experiences about the power of your support network.
So 100%. So it's basically to navigate all these different, I guess you'd say arenas, if you will, because they were all high level, right? I was internationally based in all three. So I had a core group at home. I had my training partners. I had my family. I had the people that I needed around me that were going to keep me doing what I was doing. The people that there was, when I really started getting going with all this stuff, I had to push a lot of people away, because they were, there's nothing, they were bad people. They just didn't really align with what I was doing. And I even do that with my business. When it comes to bringing someone onto my team, what I tell them is, look, your mindset is what I'm looking at. Your character is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to give you, a trial period. And if you can do what we do here, then you're going to be all set. And what it comes down to, is do they love it? Because if they love it, they can work at our speed. If they don't, it wears them out. And when it comes down to it, I need people who are passionate about what we're doing on the team, because that's what feeds the environment. That's what feeds our attitudes. That's what feeds our productivity. That's what feeds our ability to change people's lives. And we get one person in there. I just had to let someone go. We get one person in there who doesn't share the vision, and it takes it puts a huge damper on everybody.
Marty, I see you nodding there. I can see you very much aggressively nodding to what Johnny is saying. You share some of those same experiences, Marty?
Man, I could talk about this all day, but I'll keep it brief because we're here for Mario today. But with me in the fitness space, you know, I've had family talk negative to me. I've had friends, you know, people that I no longer associate with, and it hurts because or you might just have to love them from a distance, but that's going to throw you off. And even and this is going to sound a little crazy, but even with dating, you have to be cautious, you know, because some people might not be supportive. And I've had multiple setbacks because I was with the wrong girl. And sorry, Tina, we here for men, but you might be with her because you might like her physique, or you might like her personality or her face or something else, which I'm not going to mention because this is a men's podcast, but y'all can figure out what I'm talking about. That can set you back. Okay. Listen, your journey and your business is more important than that. And if you love it that much, you can find it somewhere else. I guarantee you. But it's super important, man. Just be mindful of that. And don't get caught up. And it's okay if you made that mistake like myself. I'm not sure if Keith and Jon have made that mistake in the past before, or Mario, but it's okay. You can bounce back from it. Just learn from it. And community is everything.
Brother, we've all made that mistake. Shit.
Okay. Hey, look, man. I'm going to keep it 100. I got nothing to hide here.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I love it. I mean, if an entrepreneur says they haven't made that mistake, they are lying.
What you call it, Jon? Pulling your what down?
Pulling your pants down. Take your pants down, baby. That's it. Let everybody see it. You know what I mean?
Mario, I see you leaning in and nodding as Johnny and Marty were talking, and I think some of these things are resonating for you too. The power of your support network, Mario. Lean into this a little bit.
Yeah, so I love the way that they both mentioned it, but definitely. So one, I think that you have to have like those three pillars, right? So one is like your family, their unconditional support. I mean, I couldn't have done anything that I've been able to do without the support of my wife. Now my 22-month-old boy who's traveled to like Estonia with me when he was only like 3 months old to get the visas, make it all happen. So family is always there. But then you also have to have, let's say, the ones who know what you're going through in the business aspect. So those are the fellow entrepreneurs. Those are the fellow, businesses that are just going through the same challenges. And so you can talk very real about the struggles and they'll understand you and they won't judge you for it as well. And then I think you have the third ones, which the mentors. The mentors give you the harsh, the raw truth that sometimes you don't want to hear. Sometimes it hurts, but they're actually looking out for you, and they're gonna say the things that you really need to hear, but you might not want to hear.
Yeah. Hey, Mario, what advice would you offer to an entrepreneur starting out today from scratch? Perhaps just woke up today and it's like, you know what, we have guys in our audience that are waking up in their late 30s, early 40s, and they're going, holy fuck, man, kind of lost. I'm feeling shitty about myself. I look in the mirror. I don't like that gut. My wife's not having sex with me. My career sucks. My network sucks. I'm just in a lost place right now. What are you saying to that guy? Hey, buddy, here's the first place I would start to get my network restarted and rebuilt. What would some advice you'd give to that person, Mario?
So I definitely say you got to reflect a lot. You got to have your personal life or personal balance very much in check, especially your self-care. So as much as you want to jump in and you think that, entrepreneurship, business, that's going to save me, it's just not the case. It's like depending on other friends to save you. You got to save yourself first. So you got to get yourself fit. I was a hypocrite of this. I was telling people, no, you got to go outside. You're an entrepreneur. You got to get healthy, go for that walk, etc. And I'm preaching all this while in the background, I'm eating poorly. I wasn't sleeping. I was doing it all wrong. And then I started to find my balance, and it was pretty funny. My wife was like, listen, you're preaching this in LinkedIn and you're not doing it yourself. Like, please take care of yourself. And so I changed it up. I started going for my daily swims. I started to make that happen. I started to eat better. I started to feel better. And now all of a sudden my sleep quality, which I'm measuring, has gone up. I mean, incredibly up. So it's one of those things that take care of yourself first before you jump in, because then once you do, the journey's tough, but it's going to be a lot easier to manage because you're taking care of yourself and body and mentally.
Oh man, I got to jump in there and here, I so agree. But let's break it into a format that most people have seen in a very simple, because I love simple, way to view it. When you're on an airplane, what do they tell you? If we're going down, secure your own oxygen first. You got to make sure you can breathe so you can take care of your kids. You can take care of the people that need you. If you don't have the oxygen, you're not saving anyone. So if that doesn't make it as simple as people, it's selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to take care of I need to give that time to my kid. My bullshit. You're taking shitty care of your kids if you're taking shitty care of yourself because they're watching what you're doing. And if you feel like shit, it's because you're living like shit and you're teaching them to do it just like you are. So put that goddamn oxygen mask on yourself first.
And if you eat like shit, you're probably feeding your kids shit too.
Yep.
That's big. That's real. But that's another topic for another day.
That is absolutely another topic. And hey, listen, we have to look no further than the beginning of the show. Christina's like, yeah, I sent my kid to a fitness class. And next thing you know, Christina's doing fitness class. So it's what we show our kids.
Love it. So proud of her.
Right? So that it all works together, right? So don't tell, do show. All right, boys and girls, we're hanging out with Mario Hernandez, the CEO of Noble. We're talking about building networks, and we're talking about making impact, not just money. But right now, we got a young man on the show, and his name's not Mario, and it's not Marty, and it's not Keith. It's that young man there in the red hat and the black glasses, and his name is Jon Andersen. And he's got a sound effect that sounds just like just like this. And he's got a lifestyle tip that's going to get you guys rocking and rolling. Jon Andersen.
Let's go. Come on. You guys hear me talking about habits. I'm a big one on habits because we cannot guarantee our future, but our habits will predict our future. So here we go. Question all the time. How do I put a new habit in play? How do I start this journey? Well, here's what we do. Number one, we're going to habit stack. which means we're going to take a habit you currently have, such as brushing your teeth. And if you don't brush your teeth every day, you nasty bastard, pick up the pace, start brushing your teeth. So you're going to brush your teeth, and then you're going to do whatever this new thing is. Let's just say that you want to do some morning exercise, and you say, okay, I'm going to brush my teeth, and I'm going to go for a walk. So what we do is we create that new habit stacked right behind the brushing of the teeth, and we call it a non-negotiable. What that means, it's a very simple step forward to this goal. Like, okay, the non-negotiable is I'm going to walk for 1 minute. That means you're going to put your shoes on, put your socks on, get yourself. It's going to take longer to get ready than to walk for a minute. Now, you get outside, or maybe you do it in your house. Who knows? You start walking. What'll happen is probably about 57, maybe 58 seconds, you go, you know what? I may go for another minute. Go for another minute. Well, all you need to do is set that very simple and easy to execute non-negotiable as the first step in that goal. You know that no matter what, you can walk for a minute. And if you only walk for a minute, boom, you check the box, you hit your non-negotiable, but you watch. That minute will turn into 5, it'll turn into 10, it'll turn into something you want to do. All because we made it so simple to start that you want to do it. Because when you want to do something, it's a whole lot easier than when you have to. But if you have to do it for 1 minute, you know you can pull that off. So how do we do it? We habit stack with a simple, small, non-negotiable new habit. We put it in play, we let it roll out, and that is the methodology that's going to help you implement good habits into your daily loop. Rock and roll.
Habit Stack with Jon Andersen, the lifestyle tip, 45 minutes after the hour, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Today, we got Mario Hernandez hanging out with us today. We're talking social impact. And hey, listen, Jon's all about habit stacking. Every single day, he's going to give you something to think about. And every single day, Marty's going to give you something to think about. You take Marty's fitness tip, you take Jon's habit tip, you take my accountability check-in, you got no excuses. Frankly, you got no excuses. And we got Cosmic Vision here coming in saying, I'm going to try this starting on Monday. Hey, Cosmic, I would invite you to start tomorrow, or I'd invite you to start later today. There's
never wait. Never wait. Don't say Monday. Don't say later. Say, I'm going to do it now.
Hallelujah, because it's too easy in my experience to always delay till the next Monday. So don't start Monday, start today. And hey, while you're at it, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Click on the subscribe, click on the comment, click on tell your friends. Just tell everybody about the greatest morning show, gentlemen, to get your ass out of bed to help you achieve those big ass goals. Good times coming with amen to that. Boys, Marty, Jon, good time, and guys like Real Deal Prime, such faithful listeners of the show, and really, really grateful for that and having you guys hanging out with us here. We're hanging out with Mario Hernandez. We're talking why making impact, not just money, is pretty important. And we're here to also talk about turning purpose into profit. We're hanging out with Mario here, as the CEO of Noble. Mario, 66% of consumers say that they would pay more for products from socially responsible companies. Social good as a competitive advantage per se. Talk about Noble. How does Noble use social good initiatives as a competitive advantage for businesses? And give Marty, give Jon, give Business Athlete Nation examples of other companies that are successfully doing this, and they got you inspired to do it with Noble. Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's incredible to see the change. It's been a lot of years in the making, but you see companies like Patagonia doing incredible work. Tom's, who had the 1-for-1 model. I mean, they would sell a shoe, they would donate a shoe. Even Salesforce as well. And so all these companies that are just, they're modifying their approach, where what we were discussing before, social impact or CSR isn't just a branch within the company. No, it's a foundational aspect. It's in their core strategy. And that's resonating with consumers, especially now that Gen Z is coming into the workforce. I mean, they rather take a lesser salary to make sure that they're working for someone who's socially responsible. So these companies absolutely inspired me to go down the same path. Now, with Noble, the question was very much during the pandemic that we were tech dependent on absolutely everything. I was thinking, what happens if we could use your popular apps and services to donate or send contributions to nonprofits? And so that's where Noble really centered itself upon. where things like what Marty's been talking about, the fitness aspect, we wanted to provide the same thing for employees. So traditionally, a lot of companies make the mistake that CSR is a linear transactional model. They think they're doing great by just sending a check to a foundation. So that transactional process needs to evolve to a relational, circular process so that everyone's involved, employees, consumers, with those social initiatives from the company. And so Noble does just that. We provide a platform where we basically tell the companies, donate where you're already donating. Doesn't have to be less, doesn't have to be more. It's up to you. But with that donation, now make a campaign out of it. So they're actually saying, we want our employees and our consumers to get fit, to get healthy. We want them to walk 50 million steps in the month of August. And if they walk 50 million steps, then we're going to send $1 million to X Foundation. So with their Apple Watch, Fitbit, Strava, anybody who has a way to extract data to Apple Health, every step that you're taking is forming part of this campaign. So now it's inclusive. Anybody can be a change maker, whether you have the money to donate or you don't, but you can put in those steps. So we're incentivizing physical and mental health, both internally at the company and externally with consumers.
That's awesome. Hey, boys, we got to celebrate. Cosmic Vision has subbed to the channel. Marty, got a bell ringing for us. You guys are awesome. I subbed. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Cosmic Vision. We're going to get a sound effect for those that are subscribing. Hey, Marty, I got a question for you, brother. So I'm suspecting you're probably similar in age to Mario, or closer to Mario than me and Johnny. How does social entrepreneurship, or this idea of supporting companies that are supporting social impact, how do you as a young man look at that, Marty? And do you look to those kind of companies to spend your money or to give your attention to? I guess what I'm trying to say is that important to you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm not like super big on it, but if I see, somebody does something super crazy, immoral, or something I don't believe in, there's no way I'm supporting them. And that could even be, it could be companies I spend money with. It could even be music I listen to.
Yeah.
But we are in the age of cancel culture. So before I do that, I make sure I do thorough research. Because, unfortunately, people will just look for a reason to complain or be a victim and try to cancel someone. Some people just get a kick out of that. So before I go that route, I make sure I do thorough research. But if someone doesn't align with me, they're definitely not getting my support for sure.
And Johnny, you and I are the old dogs in the bunch here, and the old saying, right? It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Johnny, do you find yourself leaning into companies that are socially aware and are looking to make a social impact on the world, or you're like, no, I've been using this for 30 years, I'm okay with that, I'm good with this, or what's your opinion on this, Johnny?
I mean, if there's a choice, if I'm left to make a decision, I'm going to always choose the company that has a better standard and morality and trying to help and being a positive part of our society and our world. Of course I'm going to pick that, but I think one of the things I think that we're starting to see is in the younger generations is that the younger generations have figured out that their parents have told them to go find what they want to do, but watch their parents completely do the opposite.
Yeah. Yes.
And so now we've got this younger generation who are like, you know what? I don't want to do that dumb shit because he's telling me to do X, Y, Z, but I don't give a shit what he's telling me. I just don't want to do that. And so I think we're finding this new generation of youngsters coming up that are basically kind of pursuing things with a purpose, pursuing a job with a purpose. And it used to just be, I'm going to go make a bunch of money. And it didn't make it what you were doing to make a bunch of money. That was how we thought. Well, this younger generation is having kind of a different formula in their thought process, which I'm really excited to see because, those of us that were programmed to just go make a bunch of money, it's because we were raised, but it came down the pipe from the Great Depression. Our elderlies just wanted us to have food on the table. That's all they cared about. Well, shit, food on the table is great, but man, I want to be inspired. I want to get up feeling like I can't wait to do it again. And when I pursue that and I honor that, I know there's going to be plenty of food on the table. So I'm stoked to see the younger generation that's catching a clue. So I guess for all you parents who were telling your kids to go try to find what they wanted to do and you weren't doing it yourselves, I guess they learned what not to do. But if you're one of those parents that's actually telling them and you still haven't done it, take that first step, start your side hustle and demonstrate that you can actually be in pursuit of really what makes you happy and do your kids the biggest service that you can as a parent, because it's never too late.
Fulfillment.
Go ahead.
I was going to say fulfillment, just like what Mario was talking about in the beginning. Fulfillment. And just not to get off topic, but just to piggyback off of what Jon said, it kind of made me think about, like, I'm not saying this happened to me. It might have, it might not have not. But when parents are like, hey, if somebody asks you what you want to be when you grow up, tell them a lawyer or tell them a doctor. And it's like you don't even understand.
Did you get told that as a kid?
I didn't say that I did. I'm just saying it happens.
Come on, man. Come on. Yeah. You got to pull your pants down. Did that happen to you?
All right, I'll pull them down. It's happened to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
That's it.
I think that's ridiculous. Now that I'm older, I think that's crazy.
You know, I was such a dumb little son of a bitch. Nobody was telling me any of that stuff.
Me too. I was dumb too. I'm sure Keith was dumber than both of us though.
Well, I was dumb and husky. I was husky and dumb.
I was husky too, man. I've sat right beside you with you, know.
I was dumb and skinny.
We're hanging out with Marty, Keith, Jon, and our guest Mario Hernandez. We're going to get to the Jon and Marty in the gym segment in a couple minutes, but before we do that, Mario, I'm looking to you, pal. CEOs are like, social impact. You want to make profits. How do I measure this social impact bullshit? How do I know if I'm making an ROI? I want to go on a vacation. I want to send my people somewhere. How do you tell a CEO to measure the return on investment from social good? What advice, Mario, would you give to businesses wanting to see both financial and social returns? Mario Hernandez.
So we measure, for example, like turnover costs, and they look at the P&L, and it's all about the replacement, the salary, but they don't take into account, for example, the innovation that's lost when that employee leaves, which is a major, source of money that's just left your company, and it's not going to take you to the 20 years that you're thinking. The same thing with the trade secrets. So what I tell them is, let's look at your retention. Let's see how long your employees stay and how productive they really are. Now, with Noble, we'll come in and we'll place in this platform. We're going to onboard your employees, and you're going to see in 8 to 12 months the retention difference. That retention is very much transparent or transmitted into the financial books, where you can actually see the money that is being saved and how much money is being made. Now, that's all being aligned with the social impact, but at the same time, you have to be very transparent about the impact that now you're producing. So you have to be transparent about the donations to both consumers and the employees. It can't just be in your annual shareholder meeting that you're saying, oh, listen, we sent to this foundation, we're doing great in the world. Now, you got to be transparent about absolutely everything. You need to be transparent about how you're actually working out with the circular economy, how you're using your resources. So involve people in the process. And that's what I'm really telling the CEOs. And they're realizing that, again, it can't just be some branch or some initiative part of the company that's not foundational. It has to be within their architecture. And they're going to realize the gains, the productivity, the fulfillment of their employees. So there's a lot of different tactics that you need to apply as a leader in your company. Apply it yourself as well so that you can lead effectively. But in a year's time, your company won't be the same. You're going to have a lot more innovation. You're going to have a lot more fulfillment within your employees. And the consumers are going to be resonating with it because you're being transparent about all the metrics, from the time that your employees are actually volunteering, yourself, how you're involving them in the process, the donations that have been sent, the nonprofits themselves have to be involved. So it's a very large strategy that has to be executed effectively, but with everyone very much involved in the process.
Some good responses there. We got Rick Clout joining us here on the horizontal feed. I see Rick's over on LinkedIn. Hey, Rick, thanks for joining us, pal. I know you're commenting on impact. This is so cool. Absolutely. And now is my favorite word. It's Johnny's favorite word as well, because what did you say? Who gave us that? Was it Jon? Procrastination is something in camouflage and disguise.
Perfection is basically camouflage procrastination. There's no perfect. Make progress.
Yes, I like that. And Rick also comes in with the 5-second rule countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then do it. bypass my procrastinating croc brain trying to protect me, Rick says. And of course, Nation, we have Tommy over in the Mornings in the Lab LinkedIn feed there. So if you're out there within LinkedIn platform, go say hi to Tommy. Come by, check out the show, and come say hi to us. We're hanging out with Mario Hernandez, Keith Bilous, Jon Andersen CMartyFit on the only morning show that helps you guys start your day, get your ass out of bed, help you achieve the biggest goals in your life. We're coming to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And we've been talking social impact, why making impact, not just money, is important. So Mario, we've started a new segment this week called In the Gym with Marty and Jon. And at this point, we're gonna get off stage here for about 15 minutes if you can hang around. We're gonna put Marty and Jon up on stage. We're gonna talk gym stuff. They are going to educate our audience on what happens in the gym from Marty and Jon's perspective. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna wrap the show up and finish up our conversation on social impacts. That work for you, Mario?
Yeah, love it.
Awesome. All right, boys. So Jon and Marty, you guys are coming up here today to talk. What are we talking about today in the gym? We're talking compound movements.
It doesn't make a difference what you want us to talk about, brother. We got all the goods. You just say what you want. What's the topic of the day? If you want me to pick it, shit, I'll pick it.
Beautiful. The boys, Marty and Jon, in the gym with Marty and Jon, coming up for the next 15 minutes. You got questions, you got comments, you got feedback. You want to learn from the incomparable Jon Andersen and the incomparable Marty Fit. Now's your time, boys. Mario, let's go hang out in the green room for a little bit. You guys are up.
So I guess we're picking. Well, I guess we're all picking our own topic, and I would say, let's uncover something that will help as many people as possible. And correct if I'm wrong here, brother. So many people show up to the gym, and they get in there, and they're just not feeling it. And it's like because they get there, they're not feeling it. It sets the tone for them not to enjoy their I guess the process, their workout, which means they're not really excited to come back again tomorrow. I think that's a massive, massive problem.
Nope.
No, I'm saying they're not excited to come back tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
Yeah. But you agree, this is a massive problem. I mean, I suffer from it sometimes. I'm sure you do too. Yeah.
Yeah, quite often, man. A lot of people don't realize the fittest people don't feel like working out. Like we don't get up excited to work out every day. That's that's where you got to throw the motivation out the window.
Well, so this is the methodology that I employ, that I help my clients with, that I'm sure it works for me, works for all of them. I'm sure it's going to work for you too. And I'm sure Marty's going to have some really good input on this. So here's the thing. When you know you're going to the gym, don't just wander there. Don't just, I got to be at the gym at 5. Don't just get off work, get in your car. And next thing you know, you're walking in the front door. You're tired. You're not feeling it. You're not focused. Prepare. It doesn't take long to prepare to get yourself in the right frame of mind, body, and soul to get some good exercise. So let's just say you show up to the gym, you park your car, and you're like, son of a bitch, now I got to get out, now I got to go in there. Don't worry about going to the gym right now. Just get your butt up and start walking. Just don't enter the gym until you've position yourself physically and mentally. Once you start to walk, you start to move, you're going to gain some motivation. So Marty, talk about the difference between a person that walks in the front door, he rips that door open, says he knows what he's doing, he's fired up to do it because he's ready, and the guy that just kind of accidentally finds himself in the lobby of the gym. Talk about the difference in those two people's workouts.
Oh yeah, definitely. The person who walks right in with intention, they're going to, if they're plan to be there for an hour, they're going to get out in an hour. But the person who's procrastinating, they're probably going to run their mouth too much. They're probably going to be on their phone. They're not going to be focused. They're not going to increase the weight. They're not going to do all their sets. They're not going to do all the reps. And it's all mental. This whole thing is mental. Forget the physicality. Forget how sore you are. You have to have the right mentality. And to the person that doesn't feel like working out, two things. This is two things that help me. If you're a music guy, which I think most of us are in the gym, have your playlist ready. Have your playlist ready, or your station, or whatever it is, a podcast, whatever you listen to, YouTube video, have it ready. Don't get in there and try to figure the shit out because you already don't feel like being there. And then don't go in there running your mouth to everybody. Don't go holler at the girl because she look good today because she got your favorite color leggings on. Don't go holler at the OG in there. If Jon Andersen want to talk too much, hey Jon, I'm gonna get to work. Holler at Jon, I'll holler at you later. Get to work, because the run of your mouth and then you in there flirting, it's going to throw you off even more. So go in there. You go ahead.
No, I like that, bro. That's beautiful. So for the angle of the podcast or the music, which is great because, input, what we feed into our brains is going to help us get into that peak state. So would you suggest that someone actually starts with that podcast or starts with that music on the way to the gym?
Oh yeah, I think you should definitely get your mind right. Get your mind right because it's go time when you get in there. And obviously we tell you to warm up. So yeah, warm up. But I even have it on in my warm up in the car and my warm up. So by the time I'm ready to attack that first set, it's game time, right? I'm not playing any games. We're getting straight to it.
And here's the thing. Let's break this down nice and simple. The things in our life that we want to do are much easier to execute than the things that we have to do. And the best part about what we're talking about here is you have the choice to do a little bit of preparation every day before you get to the gym. So you want to step in that door and you want to catch a sweat because you do it like this. You can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Now, yeah, go ahead.
Now I was going to say, and guess what? We do shit we don't feel like doing every day. So just add the gym to that list. There are things we don't feel like doing all day and we get it done with no issue. So just approach the gym with that same mentality.
Now, once you're in there, right? I think another big thing is people go in there and they know they're going to work. Well, we can't talk about chest because everybody knows what they're going to do. They're going to do it Monday. They're going to do 5 sets of 5. So we can't talk about that one. It's the International Chest Day. Everybody knows what to do. So let's just say they're going in and they're going to work back, right? In many cases, people show up, they get themselves all primed up and ready to go, but they haven't really laid out what they're going to do. So the second part to this is get yourself mentally primed, get yourself physically ready through movement, and make sure that you have a plan. You can't just wander through a workout. You got to execute it in a little bit of preparation. When it comes down to it, it doesn't matter if you got 30 minutes, you got 40 minutes, you got an hour. If you get in there and you have a plan to execute back exercises and you work for the time you've got and you make a habit of this consistently, you're going to get some progress. But if you show up in there without a plan and you're kind of wandering around, you're not doing much, you're going to find real quickly it's a waste of your time. And who wants to waste their time and energy? So talk a little bit about the importance, Marty, of having, a plan of attack once you're primed and ready, you rip that front door open. How important is it to have a plan of attack?
Listen, man, I got a phrase for everything, man. So
Come
my
on.
phrase for that is if you wing it, you're going to end up eating chicken wings. So basically, if you wing it, you're not going to be on point of your workout. You're not going to be on point with your nutrition, right? You're going to you're more likely to stop at the fast food place, the donut place, and the ice cream place. You're more likely to do that. And then if you can highlight the comment again, Keith or Tina or Jimmy, Lauren said, if you have the I get to mentality versus I have to, it's a game changer for intentional training. And she said, John and I just said the same thing. So another thing too, with that I get to versus I have to, when I don't feel like it, I'm like, man, it's somebody in a wheelchair today that can't hit leg day. And I'm sitting here complaining and bitching that I don't want to hit legs today. Let's get to it because I'm sure that person in the wheelchair would do anything to be able to hit leg day. So I'm going to crush this leg day and I'm going to move on with the rest of my day.
I love the mantra because that's what Marty says to himself inside his head to help him perk himself up, ready to go. So for me, I have a couple of, there's number one, I say to myself, anytime it's with the gym or anything else I don't want to do, it's going to suck, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's what I say to myself. And for some reason, that just makes it easier to take that first step. Now, the next thing that I remind myself when it comes to the gym is I think, you know what? This is the line in the sand because most people are not stepping forward, kicking ass because they don't feel like it. Well, I'm going to be the guy that always steps forward and always kicks ass. And look where it took my life into a place that I only dreamed about as a fat little boy. So the idea of being consistent, even when you don't want to, because there's going to be times when all these little tips and things that we're giving you you're still like, God, I feel I feel good, I'm ready to go, but it's really, I still don't want to do it. Well, guess what? It's going to suck, but you're going to do it anyway. Or you're going to think about that guy in the wheelchair, like Marty said, and you're going to be thankful that you got all your limbs and you can get in there and sweat. So that being said, just remember, it's all about understanding what you got to do, having your plan of attack to go get it done. And if you still don't want to do it, have some mental firepower prepared, because we all have the things that we say to ourselves that help us do what we want to do versus the things that we say to ourselves to get us out of what we want to do. So Marty, talk about that. You can give yourself reasons to go to the gym. You can give yourselves reasons not to go to the gym, but whatever you focus on the most is what you're going to end up doing. Talk about that, brother.
It's crazy. It's like, if you look for an excuse, you're going to find one. And I think it was you, or I think it was Adam House of Bricks. He said that, if you don't believe, that's still a belief. Right.
That's right. I've heard that.
That was a great quote.
Listen, the man who believes he can and the man who believes he cannot are both correct.
Exactly. So you're either believing one thing or you're believing another thing, right? So just believe that you're supposed to be in the gym, right? Give yourself that positive talk. I'm supposed to be here, right? And then if you read the Bible, right, we're supposed to move our bodies. Our bodies are made to move. Our bodies are not made to be sedentary, right? And then you might have that extrinsic motivation, like John, grandkids, right? Or you might be a parent. I know Mario said he has the 22-month-old, right? Mm-hmm. You want to be able to run around with him. So, you can find some sort of motivation, just like you can find some sort of bullshit excuse. So, and you got to tell yourself that even if it's a legit excuse, you got to tell yourself it's a bullshit excuse. This is bullshit. That's the mindset you got to have.
It's so true, brother. And another element that we need to uncover here is this. We live in this world where people, they drink, they smoke weed, they do all this shit to make themselves feel good, right? Well, check this out. Your brain, my brain, Marty's brain, everybody's brain got the best drugs on the planet, and they're free, and you don't get in trouble for using them. And guess what? When you go to the gym and you change your physiology, which is an expensive word for blood flow, you basically get the blood flow, you overcome some challenges, your brain is going to release a cascade of positive chemistry into your bloodstream. That's why when you're done, you feel so good. That's why when you're done, you're positive to the people around you. That's why when you're done, you're a better version of you. So think about that. Do you want your fix? Because every day I got to have my fix. There ain't no two ways about it.
Marty.
Yeah, John, you just made me think. I had a client before, and they were like, man, I was trying. They said they were stressed out. That's why they skipped the gym. So I told them, like, the gym,
that's the so gym backwards.
The gym helps with your stress, right? And you're probably gonna come up with a better solution because you're gonna feel good after the workout. They were like, no, I'm stressed out after my workout. I'm like, if you're stressed out after the workout, that means you need to be here more. If the workout is that hard, you ain't working out enough. So get your ass in here.
Well, and you know what that means too is that they're not checking that stress at the door, because the workout is that time where we get to think about only what we're doing physically. We get to let go of all the problems in our lives, and that little break is profound.
Yep.
Hey, in the gym with Marty and John, a segment we're launching here 9:00 Eastern time. Information, advice, things you don't know, tips, and everything to get you through your workout in the gym. You're sitting with two experts every single day, 5 days a week. You're not going to get this free advice anywhere else on the planet. 9:00 Eastern time. We're doing this little gig here with Marty and John. Sure. Give you guys stuff to get you guys moving, get your ass out of bed, give you something to think about when you're under the squat rack and so forth. So we're going to bring back in Mario. We're going to bring in producer Flynn, and we're going to go over to the creator spotlight, and we're going to wrap the show up. Johnny's going to step away for a little break. I'm going to bring Mario up here. We're going to bring producer Flynn up here. We're going to exit Johnny. Johnny will be back in about 2 minutes or so. And we are going to do something that, well, first of all, I have a confession. Mario, you know how we met you. We invited you on for the creator spotlight and celebrate you. And you know how it works. We'd take somebody, do the great work, and we're like, hey, Mario's doing some awesome work around. We celebrated you and brought you up here and so forth. So this week we did the same thing. And we celebrated somebody and thought we were all awesome and got their content made and got it put up on LinkedIn and shined the light and did all the great stuff. And then Tina, I get a note from the dude a couple days ago. He's like, yeah, so I see I have a new pronunciation for my name. And I'm like, oh shit, did I say it wrong? He's like, no, just spelt it wrong. I was like, oh man. And then he says to me, yeah, and then the ticker you guys got going on the screen? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm not a she. I'm like, oh man. So business athlete nation. When you're going,
Keith,
yes, Marty.
How'd you do that? Who did that? Was it Jimmy?
Tina, you're muted.
Tina, you're muted. You're muted.
Rookie.
Fucking rookie, I tell you. What am I doing?
Yes.
You know what I love about this though?
Yes.
If anyone had any thoughts about like this big production team behind us doing these videos for us, it's like your boy Keith is making these videos.
Yes.
It was them. Keith. Oh wow. Maybe that was the Canadian spelling.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Marty. Yes. So nation, no, there's no big team back here. The show's over and Keith's frantically making the content and Keith apologizes because he spelt the yes, good time. Love that it's real. It's true. It's real. The show's over. I'm frantically cutting shit up to get it onto the platforms. And then this fellow, and here's what I like about it. Here's the learning lesson, because we came into the show today and I said to Tina and producer Jimmy, Audible. They're like, what? Are we celebrating this person today? I'm like, no, because I fucked up the name of this one and the spelling. So we got genders incorrect. We got people's names incorrect. So nation, but here's what we love, right? Tina, Marty, is that everybody tries to be perfect. No, let's enjoy the progress. Let's enjoy the progress. Let's have some fun with it. I don't think that this fellow who I'm going to celebrate right now, who is going to join us here hopefully soon, because now we got his name right. Today, I want to re-celebrate Mornings in the Lab, somebody whose name I spelled incorrectly and I think didn't say incorrectly, but he is Jeff Abrason. Jeff, I'm sorry, brother, but I'm back here to celebrate you on the Creator Spotlight here on Mornings in the Lab. Jeff is part of Power Up Presentation. He's a creative director, presentation coach, pitch consultant with over 18 years of agency experience. He's mastered the art of transforming nervous speakers, into confident storytellers with a special love for keynote presentations. And here the funny thing is, Christina, is that Jeff has probably told his clients time and time again, make sure the spelling's correct, make sure the gender's correct for the presentations he does. And there's old Uncle Keith here fucking it right up here. So Jeff offers everything from presentation skills training to one-to-one confidence coaching, pitch consulting. He's the host of the Disruptive Influence podcast, where he chats with industry leaders who are shaking things up. He's worked with top brands like PepsiCo, Adidas, Honda, and any more. And we're highlighting him because he's offering really practical advice, really engaging podcasts. And Jeff is extremely active on LinkedIn. He's in the DMs, he's commenting, he's building relationships. But truthfully, we're highlighting him here today because I messed up the first time. And because I messed the first time up, Jeff was reluctant to share our content on the platform. So I'm
Fair. Would you share it?
No. So Jeff, share the content now, brother. We're shining the light on you. All joking aside, nation, go over to LinkedIn, go knock on Jeff's door if you need some help with presentation skills. But before we welcome back up John, Marty, and Mario, Christina, some closing words on Keith's fuck up, or I know you've been you gave me a heads up on Jeff. Any comments on Jeff Abrason?
Listen, fuck ups happen. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're expecting not to fuck up, you're not an entrepreneur. Just know that it's a guarantee of the experience. It could be something as little as this, or maybe one day that's a show topic we can all talk about.
Yes.
Some of our biggest fuck ups. Because I've got some beauties. I have a whole 15-minute talk that I do on all of my fuck ups. So we can get into that one day, but just know it's a guarantee of the experience. It took me a long time to acknowledge that as somebody who was raised like, you got to be perfect, you got to have this, you got to have that, which is a lot of us. So, and Jeff, the best part about Jeff is that he's taken this crazy experience he had as a creative director, who's having to be in those agency rooms and pitch clients and then pitch them on ideas. He's taking that expertise and saying, cool, I know exactly what you need to do to be able to get your audience to respond to what you're talking about, and I'm going to teach you based on my experience. So love Jeff, great dude. He's an awesome person to watch on LinkedIn, and just the content he's creating is really valuable.
Beautiful. So
and
Jeff,
real quick, Jeff, I just want to apologize as a team for the mistake we made, but just keep in mind, Keith is Canadian. This stuff's going to happen.
He's such a nice guy, Jon.
This stuff is going to happen. He's Canadian. He can't help it.
Yeah, I'm blaming Canadian Keith.
That's it. That's it.
And I think he needs to coach you.
He's
I think he
Canadian
needs to
too.
coach you.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful. Jeff's
Oh,
Canadian.
well, he need to give you some Canadian coaching, because you can't do that again.
You know what's exceptional though is that we're gonna bring Jeff on the show, Christina, and then within one fell swoop, there's gonna be Keith's Canadian, Tina's Canadian.
Oh man, they're trying to outnumber us. You know what? Listen, I've been an underdog my whole life, and I'll still whoop some ass.
Here we go.
Come on, Marty. Are you with me, baby? Are you
I'm
with
with
me?
you. Hey, Jon, I'm with you, man. I've been an underdog too. That's I'm right there with you,
I've
brother.
never been I know I was always the guy that was outnumbered. That's okay. Come on.
We've been hanging out with Mario Hernandez, the CEO of Noble. Why making impact, not just money, should be your life motto. We're going to close off some final remarks and wrap the show up here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Marty, Jon, producer Christina Flynn, and of course our guest, Mario Hernandez. Mario, 75% of millennials say they want to work for companies that contribute to social good. What practical steps, Mario, can entrepreneurs take to incorporate social good into their business without sacrificing profit?
So one, start by elaborating a strategy that doesn't just reflect marketing, but it reflects your values as the entrepreneur. So the corporate culture isn't just having a ping pong table in the office. No, it's about actually going aligned with your values and principles. Two, involve your employees just the way that you delegate tasks and you give them trust, autonomy. Do the same with your social impact initiatives. It isn't just about the company, it's about everyone involved. So make sure that you can have that very, very much communicated anyway. And finally, make sure that you also promote their skills and their talents. It's not just about a transactional method of sending a donation. One of the companies that I think is doing a fantastic job, Tech to the Rescue. So they find tech companies who can actually program apps, websites for different foundations. The same thing with your employees. Each one has a unique skill. Get them involved. Find a way that they can actually use their talents to help someone else, and that'll really provide them fulfillment as well. So there's many steps. You want to find out more, follow me as well on LinkedIn, join Philanthropy Network, where you're going to be able to go at it in team and community and avoid isolation. And yeah, I'm here to help.
Awesome. Christina, I saw you nodding along there. Christina.
It's just so true. And I think for so many years, CSR, corporate social responsibility, has looked at what does the executive care about, or what is the experience that they've had with social impact or in their lives that they care about, and they integrate that into whatever the company is doing. Not to say that that's wrong, but it has to be an and, not an or. Your employees need to have a say in these things, because that's going to get them engaged. That's going to get them excited. And it's not about top down. This is about, like, social impact is a different way to look at your business. And yes, is it going to take a little bit longer to see that ROI? Maybe it is. But the reality is the stats are there. And this is an aging population. Millennials and Gen Z want this. If you want to retain employees, this is what you need to do. You don't have to be a big corporation to do it either. You can start from the very little stages as an entrepreneur and bring that in.
Yeah. Hey, Jon, Marty, have you guys? Marty, go ahead. Sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
That statistic that we started off with made me really happy to hear that. I knew that the younger generations had become more interested in finding a purpose and an inspiration, but that statistic sums it up. It was 71%. Is that what it was, Keith?
75%.
That's 75% of the youth. These younger generations, they care about contributing rather than just making money, and it's gonna breed a happier population for us. So I'm really excited to hear about that. I didn't know the statistics were that high. That's great news for the future of our planet.
Johnny, you got girls. You got 3 girls. When you speak to the girls and as they're they're growing up. So are they thinking about these conversations? Are you and Terry having these conversations about social good and are they curious about these kind of things? Johnny, talk about that as a father.
I mean, I was telling them before they understood it. I was saying, look, pick your life. Don't let life pick you. And they had no clue what I was talking about until they got older. But then they started to realize, of course, that accompanied with, you need to find something that you really excited to do every day, so that I was programming their supercomputers with the fact that they needed to be in pursuit of happiness, not in pursuit of money. And, it made a huge difference for them because now they're all basically, of course, they're young, so they're still working. They're working into their life's work, but they didn't just go and look for a job or a position that money was the only criteria. It was like, how am I going to make a difference in when I do this? And I mean, both the little ones actually switched their careers mid-flight through college because they're like, I want to be a part of the solution for people before the problem is so big. Maybe I can help slow the problem down rather than be at the end of the line where everybody's all fucked up. They wanted to get, closer to the origin. And so that right there told me that, all of my programming, did the right shit. So I was really happy because, once they're 18, at that point you kind of lose, you don't really have that same leverage to program their minds. So I was really happy that it worked.
Mario, have you had employees that have worked in your organization that have lost track of the mission or have lost sight of the mission and they come to you along the journey? They're like, fuck this. I don't believe in this anymore. Does that happen? And has it happened before, Mario?
Yeah, it happened with my water treatment company, actually. And we hadn't applied the social impact strategy of donating the systems. And, they were communicating to me that they were just not feeling motivated whatsoever. They were feeling lost. They were already looking for another job, for another mission. And then in reality, when we started going to these different academies, involving them in the process, and they started to see the difference that they were making in children's lives, because we were very much focused on education, foundations, and schools, it absolutely changed for them. I mean, they were feeling good about the mission of providing clean drinking water, but now, because they were also Dominican, and then they were seeing the effects that they were providing onto their own home country. And that made a world of a difference. I mean, they opened up with me and they said, listen, this is a whole entire new company that I feel that I'm working for. And it's not that I'm just working for, but I'm working for my own personal mission. So that hit really hard.
Yeah. Mario, as we wrap up the show, look to our audience, look to Jon and Marty, Christina, myself, and somebody who's thinking about starting a business right now, and they haven't even given any thought. Social impact. But maybe they've heard something we've said today, Johnny said, Marty said, and they're thinking, oh, okay, I'm really a for profit. I want to make as much cash business as I can. But maybe I can take a few percentage points of my brain and a few percentage points of the P&L and look in the direction of social impact. What kind of advice would you give that entrepreneur who's perhaps just considering it, Mario? Last word to you before we wrap up today's show.
So I think it was Jon who was mentioning this. One, the pandemic showed us a very true fact. Personal success means nothing if community around you is in shambles. So make sure that you're actually aligned with impact, that it involves your community and involves the planet, because or else it's all meaningless. So you need to push that forward. And then 2, the second point definitely is that millennials and Gen Z are the future. They're the future CEOs, future presidents. This is not a phase. This is here to stay. So if you're thinking about a business that you should be thinking in this fashion, and with longevity in mind, 10, 20 years down the road, this isn't just a benefit. It is absolutely crucial to do so and have the strategy already in line. If you haven't started already, get started today. Reflect on it and now put it in action.
Yeah. Let's go around the table and see what everybody learned from today's conversation before we say goodbye. Tina, I'm going to start with you. What's one thing you took from today's chat with Mario today that stands out for you?
Social impact is not exclusive of money. Both can exist together. Oftentimes we look at social impact as money is a bad thing. you can bring them both together. In fact, I had somebody tell me one time, no money, no mission. So you can have the biggest mission in the world. If you have no money to execute against that, it's never going to happen. So both can happen together.
Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I really like about this conversation is that we're tying the two together. And you know, for me in my life, once I made the choice that okay, I'm gonna do the things that I enjoy to make money, and those things that I enjoyed actually were of service to others. That's when things really took off as an entrepreneur. And so I think people have to realize that the two tied together, you're going to end up, if you really, really are truly focused on making a difference, the bigger difference you make, the more money you're going to make. The two are tied together. You almost can't, it's like they're kissing cousins. You Siamese twins. You can't undo that deal. So if you think that making a difference is going to slow down your money-making capability, I would say maybe just in the very beginning. But once that thing takes off, the amount of cash that you're going to make from something that's making a difference is going to be far greater than if it's not having an impact.
Yeah, I definitely, I learned a lot today. I didn't realize how much employees, I guess millennials, how they want their voice heard. They want to feel like they're making an impact, but I guess that's human nature, and how they want to align with companies that, you know, are doing something positive and have the same beliefs as them. And I think the stat was 75%. So I definitely, I learned a lot. I learned a lot today. I wasn't aware, because I mean, I've been pretty much entrepreneur my whole adult life or grown up life. So I haven't been in the corporate setting to even know that. So I definitely learned a lot today.
I was reminded of the purpose of making cash, because I've been fortunate to have made cash. I've also been unfortunate to wake up on Monday empty and lost. Like, oh, fuck, I got a bank account, lots of money in it. Good for you. Yippee. Right? So if there's anything I've learned today and was reminded today by Mario, is that making money is awesome. Guys, go make as much fucking money as you absolutely can. Go rack up the bank account. But if you really want to find a purpose, find a reason for why you're doing it. And it's not just about loading the bank account. And that's what I was reminded of today with the conversation with Mario, because I know Mario's been down that journey himself, and he's like, hey, I made a bunch of cash, but now I'm empty. So if there's one thing I can remind you guys of, is find a real purpose. It's not just about filling the bank account. Mario, what's one thing you took from today's meeting, man, before we say goodbye?
No, the importance of a community, the importance of doing it in a support network, and what we talked about, personal care. So I think we all touched on that, especially, for example, it's my field anyway, like social impact. We're always thinking about others. We want to help foundations. We want to help the planet. Perfect. It's all very noble. But if you don't take care of yourself, ultimately you're going to burn out, and that's not going to move things forward as well. So that's the most important thing I took for myself. And I think we all touched upon the physical aspect, right? Taking care of your body takes care of your mind, and then you're going to be here for the long game. So yeah, huge.
Awesome. Mario Hernandez, the CEO of Noble. You can find him at Noble. You can find him on LinkedIn. Mario, where can they ultimately find you at one spot? LinkedIn?
LinkedIn. Yeah, that's where I'm most active in. So again, thanks to the whole team. I absolutely love this talk. That was the energy I was looking for and getting the weekend started. So thanks again for having me on the show. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, I'm around, just even if it's a support network, talk to a fellow entrepreneur, count on me. I'll be happy to do so.
Beautiful. Go find Mario Hernandez at Noble on LinkedIn. And Nation, come back and find us Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the only show to help you guys get your day started, get your ass out of bed, and don't hit that snooze button. We're about accountability. We are all about helping you achieve the biggest goals in your life. Today, we talked about making money, but we talked about making money with purpose. Nation, have a great 40 hours of loop. We'll be back Monday morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, to continue the loop on Mornings in the Lab.